Good afternoon and mabuhay. Welcome to Grade 11 General Mathematics, a review class for Week 1 topics using Clyde modules. My name is Ryan J.C. Verbo, a teacher from Mataas na Paaralang Naptali A. Gonzales. So for this afternoon, we will be talking about piecewise function. Okay? So at the end of this review, we will be able to represent a piecewise function given a word problem. And then, we will evaluate a piecewise function. Okay? Now, a sort of review, let's define a piecewise function. A piecewise function is a function consisting of subfunctions, okay, defined on a sequence of intervals or domain. Now, ang magandang pagbibigay literato sa isang piecewise function, siguro imagine natin ang isang building at ang bawat building is merong kanya-kanya nilang floor. Okay? Pero hindi ibig sabihin na iba-ibang floor ang isang building na yon, magkakaiba na sila. Okay? Isang building pa rin sila. Same context sa piecewise function. Although it consists of different subfunctions, pero at the end of the day, isang entity pa rin sila bilang piecewise function. Okay? Now, these subfunctions and intervals ay makikita natin bilang condition or argument na nakapaloob sa word problem natin. Okay? Now, isang review lamang. Pag sinabi kasi nating interval, tandaan lagi natin, it is a range of values usually represented by inequality symbols like greater than, less than equal to, and greater than equal to. Okay? Another thing, pag nagsulat tayo, nag-identify tayo ng interval ng bawat subfunction natin, laging tatandaan, each or the domain and input of each subfunction must not overlap. Kung ano yung rules ng interval mo sa first subfunction, dapat iba din at hindi sila nag-overlap doon sa magiging interval mo or rules mo for the domain ng second subfunction. Okay? Let us have this example of piecewise function. That is, f of x is equal to 105 if the values of your x ranging from less than equal to 10 but greater than 0. And then second, 105 plus 30 quantity x minus 10 if your x is greater than 10. Now, notice we make use of the symbol, brace or bracket, kasi siya ang nagpapakita at siya ang nagsasabi na kahit may mga subfunction tayo, technically, iisang function pa rin ang piecewise function. Okay? Ang x natin dito ay ang ating input o ang domain, yung independent variable natin. Okay? Ang kabuuan ng f, function of x, ang tinatawag nating output o ang range. Samantalang, ang 105 and 105 plus 30 quantity x minus 10, siya ang ating subfunctions. Na actually, makikita natin sa argument, sa word problem natin mismo. And then yung conditions na if x less than equal to 10 and greater than equal to 0, at saka itong if x greater than 10, ang tawag natin sa kanila ay ang mga interval. Okay? Intervals, these are rules, okay, of the values or for the values of each domain sa bawat subfunction natin. Okay? Kaya pansinin nyo, hindi sila nag-overlap. Okay? Let's take this example. A school's fair committee wants to sell t-shirts for their school fair. They found a supplier that sells t-shirts at the price of 175 pesos per piece, but can charge 15,000 for a bulk or order consisting of 100 t-shirts and 125 for each excess t-shirt after that. So use a pieceways function to represent the cost in terms of the value of t-shirts purchased. Okay? Now, there are certain steps para isulat natin or mai-represent natin yung cost in terms of the number of t-shirts purchased using a pieceways function. First, identify natin yung output and input natin. Okay? So based on the problem, our input o ang ating X, ang ating domain ay ang number of purchased t-shirts and i-represent natin siya using small letter n. Okay? So yung number of purchased t-shirts, okay, siya yung magsasabi kung magkano naman ang babayaran natin at the end of the day. So that will be our output or f of x. Cost of the purchased t-shirts na i-represent natin using f function of n. Next thing to do is to analyze and identify the conditions or arguments na makikita natin sa ating word problem, sa ating problem. First condition, okay? Sabi niya dito, 175 per piece. Okay? So that is our first piece. In this context, a price of 175 pesos per piece of t-shirt, okay, pwede natin gamitin to o ito mismo ang gagamitin natin para makapag-generate tayo ng first sub-function. Okay? O, next condition, hanapin natin. Charge 15,000 for bulk order of 100 shirts. That is our second piece. In this context, okay, you will be charged of 15,000 for a bulk order consisting of 100 shirts. Technically, gagamitin natin yan para ma-generate naman natin yung second sum functions natin. Now, yung susunod na argument, that is 125 pesos sa bawat sobrang t-shirt doon sa 100 shirt bilang bulk order mo. Na kung saan, ito-charge tayo doon ng 15,000. That is our third piece naman. Okay? So, this context, gagamitin natin yan para makapag-generate naman tayo ng third sub-function natin. Notice, ang piece by piece na ito, these are the conditions or arguments na sinasabi sa loob ng problem natin. Okay? So, meron na tayong input, meron na tayong condition and arguments na identify natin sila. Ang susunod nating gagawin is to write and identify our interval. Yung rule na gagawin natin at gagamitin natin para sa domain natin sa bawat sub-function natin. Remember, we will be having 3 sub-functions based on the pieces of conditions and arguments na na-identify natin at na-analyze natin kanina. Okay? But for this time, consider pa rin natin yung input and output natin. Okay? So, balikan natin yung tatlong conditions natin. Yung first piece, second piece, and third piece. Para makapag-generate tayo ng sub-functions. So, for first piece, analyze natin yan. Sabi dito, sa bawat t-shirt, N is the number of t-shirt. Kung ilang t-shirt ang binili mo, that is tantamount to 175 per piece. Kung halimbawa bumili ka ng 10 t-shirt, technically, that is times 175. Okay? Pero, syempre, i-consider natin kung hanggang ilang t-shirt ang applicable si 175 pesos per piece. Ang titingnan natin yung susunod na premise o yung condition. Okay? Sabi dito, a piece bought can charge 15,000 for bulk order of 100 shirts or yung second piece natin. So, ibig sabihin, pag naka 100 shirts ka, okay, na binili, that is already 15,000 automatically. So, meaning to say, ang number of t-shirts para ma-avail mo ang 175 per piece is nakay 99 pieces pababa. That is why ang ginawa nating interval for our first piece is number of t-shirts shall be less than or equal to 99 but greater than 0. Okay? So, 175n, if n less than equal to 99, greater than 0, ito ngayon ang magiging first sub-function natin. Proceed tayo sa pangalawang piece. Analyze natin to and then generate our sub-function. Sabi dyan, 15,000 will be charged kapag nakapag-avail ka or bumili ka ng 100 t-shirts. So automatically, if the number of t-shirts purchased is equal to 100 pieces, that is equal to 15,000. Case closed na tayo doon. So, in this particular context, this will be our second sub-function. Third piece naman, analyze to be able to generate our third sub-function. Sabi dyan, 100 pesos ang bawat isang sobrang t-shirt doon sa bulk order natin na 100 shirts. Okay? So therefore, 15,000 plus yung context no, na kapag sumobra ka sa 100, yung sobrang t-shirt doon, ang presyo ng bawat t-shirt is equal to 125. Kaya meron tayong expression 125 quantity n minus 100. Pero tatandaan, ang n minus 100, ito ay isang parameter para malaman natin kung ilang excess t-shirt ang imumultiply natin sa amount na 125 na i-add natin kay 15,000. Okay? So, ang interval natin dyan, that is if the number of t-shirt is greater than 100. Now, kung gugustuhin ninyo or kung gusto ninyo ang 15,000 plus 125 n minus 100 quantity, pwede nating isimplify as 2,500 plus 125n. Paano nangyari yun? Si 125, imumultiply natin siya sa quantity n minus 100. And that is why 125 times n gives us 125n. And then 125 times negative 100 will gives us 12,500. May 15,000 pa. So 15,000 minus 12,500, that is 2,500. Okay? Either ways, pwede nyo gamitin. Ang naka-red text lang na ito kasi ginamit ko siya for the purpose of looking into how we could be able to utilize the given on the problem. Pero if we wanted to simplify it, then go ahead. Pwede naman siya. Okay? Now, we were able to identify our three sub-functions. Okay? This time, to be able to write our final answer, okay, represent the situation using a piecewise function. Therefore, our piecewise function is f of n is equal to 175n if the number of t-shirt is less than equal to 99, greater than 0. 15,000 if the number of t-shirt purchased is equal to 100. And 15,000 plus 125 quantity n minus 100 if n is less than 100. Now, how are we going to analyze this piecewise function? Okay? Assuming gusto kong bumili, okay? Gusto kong bumili ng 55 t-shirts. Okay? So, yung 55 t-shirts na yon, that is our n. Paano ko ngayon malalaman yung magiging price ko? Tatlo yan. 1, 2, 3. So, hanapin mo ngayon sa ang interval mapopol yung 55 t-shirts. Okay? Tama. Mapopol siya under this interval. N greater than equal to 99, less than 0. So, meaning to say, yung n natin dito is equal to 50. So therefore, 50 times 175 lang daw siya. Okay? So, yun yung amount na babayaran natin doon sa number of t-shirt na purchase natin. Magkano yon? That is 8,750. Okay? So, next example. Achilles is charged 500 pesos monthly for his mobile plan, which includes 200 free text messages. Messages in excess of 200 are charged 1 pesos each. Represent the monthly costs for text messaging using the function function of M, where M is the number of messages sent in a month. Okay, same process tayo. Una natin gawin, identify our input and output. So for this example, our input or our M here is the number of messages sent in a month. Given na siya, ayun. Then, our output is the monthly costs for text messaging in a month. Okay? Next is to identify and analyze our conditions or arguments na nabanggit sa ating problem. First condition or argument. Sabi doon, 500 pesos monthly charge for your mobile plan. And you have 200 free text messages. That is our first piece. And this context, siya ang tutulong sa atin para makapag-generate tayo ng first subfunction natin. Okay? Next argument or condition. Sabi niya dan, kapag sumobra ka sa 200 free text messages, okay, yung sobra sa 200, i-charge sa'yo ng 1 pesos. So that is our second piece. And ito ang gagamitin natin para malaman natin kung ano ang second subfunction natin. So, susunod naman natin, identify natin si interval. Again, i-consider pa rin natin dito si input at saka si output. Okay? So, balikan natin yung dalawang pieces of arguments natin. So, first piece, sabi 500 monthly for mobile plan and 200 free text messages. So, paano natin siya ina-analyze? So, monthly, magbabayad ka ng 500 for your mobile plan and kasama doon yung 20 free text messages. Okay? It is only applicable, 500 pesos for a month is only applicable if yung text messages mo is less than or equal to 200 greater than 0 or M is less than equal to 200. Okay? So this is now our first subfunction. Second piece, analyze and generate our subfunction. Sabi dito, mag-a-add ka sa 500 monthly costs ng mobile plan mo kung sosobra ka sa 200 text messages. Okay? Yung excess messages na yon, mag-charge ng 1 pesos at i-add mo sa monthly amount na naka-charge sa'yo para sa mobile plan mo. So, the interval is actually M greater than 200. Okay? So, kapag pinagsama natin yung dalawang subfunctions na yan, we will be able to have our final answer. And our piece function for this particular example is C function of M is equal to 500 if your M less than equal to 200 greater than 0. And 500 plus quantity M minus 200 if M is greater than 200. Okay? So, that's how we are going to represent a piecewise function, okay, involving a word problem. Next, this time, let us evaluate piece function. Okay, given if f of x is equal to 9 minus x squared, if the value of your x is less than 2. So imagine niyo kagad, ano magiging value ni x sa interval na to? X less than 2. So basically, pababa. We have 1, 0, and negative infinity. Okay? Next subfunction, that is square root of x plus 7 if your x is less than 10 but greater than equal to 2. So basically, ang values ni x dyan, that's kay 9, pababa kay 2. Okay, that's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hanggang dun lang. So next, x plus 4 if your x is greater than equal to 10. So ano yung mga values ni x for this particular subfunction? That is 10 and positive infinity. Okay? So we are to find the values of the following. A, f function of 2. B, f function of negative 3. And C, f function of 11. Okay? So let's find the values, the value of f of 2. So in this case, ano ang gagamitin nating subfunction para ma-evaluate natin ang f of 2? So technically, ang value ni x dyan is equal to 2. Okay? Now, hanapin natin saang interval magpo-fall ang x is equal to 2. Okay? So doing that, that is square root of x plus 7 if the value of your x is less than 10, greater than equal to 2. So yung greater than equal to 2, that is x is equal to as well. So ibig sabihin, si x is equal to 2 magpo-fall under this condition or interval. So therefore, ang subfunction na gagamitin natin is f of x is equal to square root of x plus 7. Okay? So proceeding, substitute kagad natin. X is equal to 2. So that's f of 2 is equal to square root of 2 plus 7. Then, f of 2 is equal to square root of 9, but square root of 9 is equal to 3. So, f of 2 natin is equal to 3 daw. Okay? Second, find the value of f negative 3. So, again, the same process. Sabi dyan, ang x natin for this example is equal to negative 3. Ngayon, hanapin natin saan magpo-fall ang x is equal to negative 3 sa interval natin. Correct. That is 9 minus x squared if x is less than to 2. So, ang gagamitin natin subfunction for this particular example ay ang f of x is equal to 9 minus x squared. Substitute the value of x. That is f negative 3 is equal to 9 minus quantity of negative 3 raised to 2. So that is 9 minus 9, f of negative 3 is equal to 0. And last, we shall find the value of f of 11. So ang x natin dito is equal to 11. Same procedure. Hanapin sa ang interval, okay, pasok ang x is equal to 11. Very good. That's x plus 4 if x is greater than equal to 11. So, ang function na gagamitin natin is x plus 4, substitute 11, that's f 11 is equal to 11 plus 4, therefore, f of 11 is equal to 15. So, ganyan lang tayo mag-evaluate using our piecewise function. I hope nakatulong kami para mas lalo niyong maintindihan yung topic natin for first week na piecewise function. So for more details, pwede ninyong hanapin yung reference na to. It's General Mathematics, Learner's Material, Department of Education, Philippines. Thank you very much and see you next week for our next review class.